today's episode, we're building the Surfer prototype. This is a jig I made for cutting out the truss rod channel. The router rides along the walls and cuts in the center. The channel is 6 millimeters and the wider parts I cut out with a chisel. Here I attach the jig via masking tape and super glue. Line up the center with the center line of the neck. And after a few passes, the channel is routed. This is where I remove the extra material so that the truss rod fits. And there it is, fits exactly, very slightly below the top surface. I made a small piece of maple to fill in that space. For extra stability, I use some silicone to keep the truss rod in place. And silicone doesn't expand or contract with temperature, and is also flexible. Here I glue in that small piece of maple. Let it sit for a while and then sand it flush. Here I use a template sanding bit to clean up some of the glue and to get the edge of the fretboard as close as I can to the neck. And now we're ready to route the fretboard flush to the neck. And it turned out really well. I got a really nice clean edge. Here is where I drill for the access point for the truss rod adjustment. Here I glue in this piece that I made out of aluminum for a cleaner look. I glue it in using super glue and some maple dust to fill in any gaps. My measurement was slightly off, but I'm still able to fit the key for adjustment. I attached the neck onto a piece of MDF using double-sided tape, and then I run it along a fence on my sander. It's a bit rough at first, but then I refine it further. This is after a bit of sanding. And this is refined a bit more. I mark the depth that I need on the blade and go at it. My blade skated on me and made some scratches, so I put down some tape in case it happened again. Here I had a couple of mishaps, and I fixed them with ebony dust and super glue. Here I marked for the side dots. I made this jig to hold the neck on its side and leveled, so I can drill for the dots on the drill press. I wanted to do it on the drill press instead by hand, just so I don't screw it up, and I figured it would be more precise this way. Also, the space on the side of the fretboard is quite small. I wick in super glue in the holes and tap in pieces of a 2mm aluminum dowel. walls get nipped and sanded flush. And here are the side dots after sanding to 220. I had to replace one of the dots again. And if you're planning to use aluminum instead of plastic, just be ready for a bit more work. Reason for replacing: I hadn't drilled the hole deep enough or hadn't cut the aluminum long enough. And after radiusing and sanding, it wasn't a perfect circle. I tape off the area so I don't affect the wood around it when I'm sanding it flush. I start with 800 grit and end with 3000. I wanted to bring the ebony to a finer sand. Usually up to 1000 should be fine on other fretboards, but sanding it at 3K gives it a nice sheen and it looks really nice. In between grits, I wipe the fretboard with alcohol. It cleans off any dust and also raises the grain. After sanding to 3000, I got this semi-gloss finish, and the figure of this ebony piece came out spectacular. You can notice a few bird eyes in there, if that's a thing, in ebony.